Hey there and welcome back to my channel. So today is an exciting haul because I think it's my most, I don't think it's my most expensive, but it's definitely my biggest haul in terms of quantity of fragrances. And they're all from one house. You know from the title of the video what house it is. I am in love with 4711 fragrances. It really did start with this big boy right here. This is just the original eau de cologne, the number 4711. And I have like a little 100 ml bottle, but this is the jumbo bottle that I have. It's the biggest bottle that I own. It's a little dusty, as you can see. And that's just what I use to fill up the larger bottle. But that's where it really began, whoops, for me. And I've liked every single one I've gotten, really. I mean, every time I can find one and it's not overpriced, because in North America, sometimes you don't see them for the best deals. When I know that they're supposed to be more affordable, then obviously I'll skip. But other than that, I snag them up wherever I can. Other than this original 4711, I have 4 others, and now I have 7 to share with you guys. 7 new fragrances, all blind buys. They were all from Fragrance Buy. By the time this video goes up, maybe they'll be sold out, some of them, but you guys know I link all 3 of the websites that I always get my fragrances from in the description box below, the main 2 being Fragrance Buy and Perfume Online. And I have a coupon for you there as well. So take a look, and after this video, if you're interested and if you like the kind of fragrances that they are, then definitely try one out. I'll just say straight off the bat, I'm not really going to comment on performance in this video. A, because it's a first impression, but B, they're all eau de colognes. They really don't have performance. That is not what I like them for, and you can't really judge them on that. So if you're looking for long-lasting beast mode fragrances, these are not it. If you're looking for fun, kind of somewhat simple scents, but that are kind of, I don't know, that are natural smelling, but they kind of highlight 2 to 3 notes, then just keep watching. So 5 of them are kind of like the original type styles where they only really list 2 notes and it's like this and this, which I'm more familiar with. So I'm gonna start with the 2 that are different and are kind of separate to those, and they come from different collections. So the first one I'm gonna go through is from the Floral collection. There was a bunch of fragrances in this collection. Obviously, the only one that I could find for sale when I was putting in this order was the Lilac one. So this lists freesia, peach, bergamot, lilac, rose, jasmine, musk, and sandalwood. Again, it goes without saying that I would 100% pick up the other ones in this collection. I really just only got what I could find. So here is what it looks like. It just has occurred to me, actually, you have to break the seal, that I don't know if these are spray bottles or not. Oh, thank God it is. Okay. I always try these fragrances, or any fragrances in a haul, on my skin, but for the purposes of the video, there are 7. I'm gonna try them on the box itself, just because I want to be able to come back to them and not have them mix up, and I only have so much room on my limbs. So let's get, wow, this one already, oh my God. You guys, I'm in love. I mean, this is love. It's stunning. It already has a like a powdery citrus vibe to it. I guess it's maybe like it's strange to say this, I swear, but the peach and florals in this are like slightly powdery. Maybe it's the rose. Rose can definitely get powdery. It's reminding me of, it's making me feel like there's some violet in here when I know there isn't. And the citrus is quite light, but it is just keeping it a little bit more fresh. It is reminding me of something that I have in my collection. You know what I think it is? I think it's one of the Jill Sanders. I think it might be Jill Sanders Sun Delight or something. I'll have to compare. second impressions videos, I've fallen way behind on those, so I need to get better and catch up. But yeah, this one is reminding me of a fragrance I already own, but it's really nice. It's kind of, it's not super powdery. I don't want you to think that by any means, but it has this quality of, yeah, like I don't want to say fuzzy, but just kind of like this softness to the florals and the sweetness that I guess comes from the peach and a little bit of citrus right at the start. Now, as I'm smelling it, it's kind of all faded away, honestly. And that's the thing with these 4711s. I feel like the opening sometimes fades away quicker than you'd expect because, like, it's, especially if it's really tart or something, because they're eau de cologne. I think it just, yeah, I really like it. This is one of my favorites I've ever smelled from this range, so I'm really happy about that. And that is Lilac from the Floral collection. As I said, there are more in this collection for sure. This is the first one I've smelled personally, and I definitely like to smell more, but yeah, I really like that one. And then the second one, which again isn't part of that original just 4711 collection, is, and I don't really know what they were called, but they all were different locations around the world, and they're all like intense. They're cologne intenses instead of eau de cologne. So it should, in theory, have better lasting power and sillage. And this one, again, I think there's 4 in this collection. This is the only one that I found, and it's a 170 ml instead of the 100 ml. And this is Wakening Woods of Scandinavia. So that's what I mean. They all had kind of, they were based on places in the world. And I think I've seen some of these in this collection before on FragranceNet, but they ended up being kind of, they were showing up for more expensive than I wanted to pay at the time, especially with the exchange rate. But anyways, here is what she looks like. It's textured, which I'm more so used to from my other ones, and this has just like a smooth base, which I have my original 4711 is like that. And this again isn't one of those originals that have like only 2 notes listed. This has bergamot, pink pepper, coriander, rose, jasmine, osmanthus, fir, albumum, and patchouli. And I was expecting, and I obviously don't know, but I was expecting this to be not high on my list because I think it's very green smelling, obviously. And I don't do as well with inexpensive green fragrances. I mentioned before, like the more expensive a green fragrance is, the more I tend to like it. Not always, but like more than 9 times out of 10. So let's see, hopefully this is the kind of exception to the rule. Ooh, okay, I might try to spray this one on my hand actually, because the cardboard on this box is thicker. Okay. It's definitely helping to smell it on my hand. It does smell very green, kind of pine smelling. And I don't want to say minty because it doesn't smell minty, but it smells like sparkly, like peppery, I guess. Like a peppery pine, which I think it has pepper, yes, as pink pepper. I definitely get that pink pepper or peppery pineness with some citrus. The pink pepper in this is reminding me of, I have another one of these fragrances by 4711 that lists, it's like pink pepper and something, which I now forget. And it's that exact same note. It is nice. I find it kind of less of an like first impressions love. This one's much more unisex as well, I'd say. I feel like Lilac Love is very feminine, or not Lilac Love, sorry, just Lilac from 4711 is a lot more feminine leaning. It's quite feminine leaning, and this I think is very unisex. As it's resting on my skin, it's slightly reminding me of Terre d'Hermès, the eau de toilette that I own, which I love. kind of in its sillage, which that is that's a real stunner. And again, I think is unisex. So I will have to compare these two. I'd be interested in comparing them side by side, and obviously that's going to have better performance, but this is supposed to be an intense. So, and that's an eau de toilette. So I would be interested in kind of comparing them, especially for that second impressions, and then coming back to you guys and seeing whether it's close enough and what the differences are. All right, so now we're gonna get to the 5 fragrances that are all in that collection. So just the normal general collection of the Aqua Colonia ones. And like I said, I'm not really gonna be able to read any notes for you because it really just is those 2 notes that's listed. Obviously, I'm sure that they use different notes other than these 2, but that's really all that is listed online. And so the first one, I tried to put them in order of like least exciting to me to most exciting, but I won't know. And sometimes 4711 ends up really surprising me. So the first one's Blood Orange and Basil. And again, I expect this to kind of be a sweet, the way that Blood Orange is kind of like sweet with a touch of bitter. And then that Basil is a quite clear scent. So these actually are all, from what I can see, yeah, they're all 170 mils. So they're all the same size and like textured bottles that the Waking Woods of Scandinavia look like. So just gonna spray that one, and I'm gonna spray them on the box because these are that thinner cardboard, and I'll be able to smell it. And let's see. Ooh, okay. Already, it's reminding me of one of my first bath products from the Body Shop, like way back in the day. I was like 9 or 10. Maybe it's the Satsuma. It's like slightly, not exactly, because the Body Shop Satsuma scent is very distinct, but it does have an element of that to it. I would say it's reminding me more of like a Satsuma orange rather than like a blood orange, because like I say, blood orange just has like a slight bitterness to it, which I'm not really getting from this. And it opens really strongly on just that sweeter citrus. I feel like I smell the basil in the base, if that makes any sense. I smell a lot more of the citrus, and the basil's kind of in the background. It does also smell a little bit like bergamot to my nose. But yeah, it's not peppery, it's not especially green, and it does lighten up as a lot of these do. So I feel like this is a nice one for hotter weather, like with the citrus, but maybe that like transitional warm weather where it's not so much about cutting heat, but it's that beautiful kind of in between. I like that. That was the one I thought I would like the least from the bunch. Obviously we don't know from these like originals, but you know, that's a good place to start if that ends up being the least liked one. Then we've got Mandarin and Cardamom. Guys, I'm just so excited. I love these ones so much. I'm not a completionist, you guys know, but this is a house that I want every single one. Like, I don't even think it is possible to be a completionist because there's so many fragrances that they make. But if I ever go to Germany, and if I have any German viewers or subscribers, this is all I want to do. I just want every single one. So as I said, this is Mandarin and Cardamom. I feel like I'll like this. I've been getting into cardamom even more. So it's very strong in my Lune Féline, which I love. Ooh, okay. I'll be interested in kind of comparing this to Blood Orange. Straight off the bat, this is more generic smelling. I feel like that one was more intriguing. I also am not really getting any cardamom yet. These really do have to settle a little bit. Yeah, it's even less sweet, which is weird because the citrus in Blood Orange and basil, I felt like was sweeter than the mandarin in here. It definitely is. It also has a greenness to it. It's as if you're kind of smelling the mandarin or the orange trees as well. It's got like a leafiness to it that I'm getting more than cardamom personally. Again, it might be in the base, but yeah, this one's interesting. Right now, I'll say out of the two, I prefer the blood orange. This one just seems a little bit more simple of a scent, let's say. And then this one I've been really looking forward to. So the next three are kind of like tied, but I'm just somewhat unsure of like what would be in what position. So this one's lychee and white mint. I was just so intrigued. Lychee's a note I love. White mint, I'm not even sure I know what they mean by that. I know mint, but like what did they mean by white mint? So let's see what this one smells like. Ooh, okay. There is definitely a gum that smells like this, or a candy. You know what I think it is? It's those, oh my God, I'm gonna put a photo up of it because the name escapes me, but it smells like these. It's this hard candy. I can't think of it right now. Like sour, whatever. You'll see it, it's here. That's what it's smelling like. And the more I smell it, the more that mint comes out. Again, I don't really know what they meant by white mint, but it does have a clean mint smell to it. The mintiness in this isn't like spearmint or like peppermint toothpaste or anything. It smells kind of, you know what it smells like are those peppermint candies. Oh, they're actually white. The white peppermint candies you get after a meal, usually like Chinese restaurants or something, but I mean a bunch of restaurants. Yeah, that's the kind of mintiness that this has. And the lychee was a lot stronger at the start when I first sprayed it, which was reminding me of those candies. And the more it stays and the more I'm smelling it, the more the white mint actually comes to the forefront. So yeah, that is lychee and white mint. All right, so now we're gonna get to the second last one. And the second last one I've been very intrigued by because it's the one that I can imagine the least in my mind. Because like I said, these really, especially the OG ones, I mean, they only really list 2 notes, and more or less, if you're familiar with the line, you can kind of get an idea of what you're gonna get. Not always, but you can guess. This one, I can't even imagine in my mind what it's gonna smell like with the combination of both notes. So this is Myrrh and Kumquat. And I can't really imagine the combination because myrrh is so like resinous and deep and sweet, and I tend to smell that more, or I tend to smell that more in kind of darker, richer fragrances. And then kumquat's like a citrus, so I feel like I smell that in a lot more light, breezy fragrances. So I'm interested in smelling it. This one is the first one, and I don't know why, to actually have the atomizer separate. So I'm just gonna put that on so I can use it as a sprayer, because I'm glad it comes with it, because God knows I struggle with dabbers. So this is what it looks like. I guess you can't really put the cap on. That's the only bad part about this, that I can't put the cap on, but we will spray and see what we think of the scent together. Because like I said, I really can't imagine what this does smell like. Ooh, okay, this one is another one I feel like I have to spray on my arm. I definitely get like a resiny, almost like amber myrrh scent. I don't know if I get any kumquat, and I'll be honest, it's not really a note I'm familiar with. I can just kind of somewhat think of the fruit, but I am not in any way familiar with that scent as much as other fruit scents that I am. And I don't really get any citrusiness to this. What I'm getting, and I do like it, is kind of a resiny, ambery woodiness that has a powdery quality to it, but a powderiness that you'd get from kind of like a dry powder. Like it's not sweet and it's not makeup-y. It's almost powdery in like a papery kind of way. If I didn't know any better, I'd say there's iris in this. Obviously I don't know, and the only 2 notes are the ones I've said. But that's what I mean. The way that iris can kind of get papery sometimes. Like this is reminding me of Iris Prima. I think that's by Penhaligon's. This is reminding me of that, and that has like suede and iris. It's a very fall iris scent, and again, I'll have to compare in a later video, but that's what I'm getting from this. Honestly, it's reminding me of that, which I do like. It's a scent I wear often, especially in the fall. So yeah, I'm interested to see kind of how that develops and comparing it to Iris. I think it's called Iris Prima by Penhaligon's. And then the last one, last but not least, actually, I think it's gonna be my favorite because both notes are huge loves of mine, and it's the one that I've looked up way before I even got this. Like it's the one that I used to look up. So this is Saffron and Iris. You guys, I love saffron, I love iris. The fact that they're together is just so exciting to me. This also is one that has the spray like nozzle separate. So I don't know what it was that made these 2 distinct at all, because I think it's just luck of the draw, or at least from what I could see. And okay, and this one, again, I'll spray on my arm because I am looking forward to it. Hopefully I like it, because I thought it'd be the best. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna spray a little bit more. These, you can't be afraid to overspray with these, honestly. This one, it's so interesting. I feel like I get kumquat more from this than the Myrrh and Kumquat, because there is a definite citrus opening to this. I suppose there's some iris, but to me this smells like a bergamot spiced light floral. I don't know if I honestly can pick out saffron or iris in this, which is interesting because usually I really can at least smell one of the notes. Maybe a little saffron, I mean like a saffron that 4711 would use, not like real saffron that you smell and cook with. Yeah, I don't know. I really wouldn't lean that way. I would say it's kind of a, like I said, a slightly sweet floral with some citrus in there. I don't get really either of those notes, so I'll definitely have to update on that one. Who knows? After these first impressions, sometimes I completely fall in love with something that I did not like as a first impression, and that's what makes it fun to come back. But based on first impression, this does not smell like saffron or really iris to me, which is interesting. Okay, so we're gonna put them in order. There's 7, so it's gonna be interesting to do so. I would say my least, it's hard to say because I'm trying to decide between, we're going last place to first place, and I hate, oh my god, I don't want to be this person, but I genuinely think I'm gonna have to put Saffron and Iris in last place. Isn't that always the way? Not always, but in this case, it's the one that left me the most underwhelmed, and honestly, it's the one that smelled least like what it was supposed to smell like. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one time, so I'm not sure. In 6th place, I would put Mandarin and Cardamom. I would have thought this would have been last, but that was even more disappointing than this. This one, it actually is nice. I just felt like the cardamom isn't really as pronounced, and compared to citruses that I did have in this haul, that one just fell a little bit flat, but definitely better as a first impression than Saffron and Iris. Then I would say, and this is harder to place, maybe I'd put, okay, in 3rd to last, I would put Wakening Woods of Scandinavia. It's just, like, I really like it. It's just, I think it's quite similar to Terre d'Hermès Eau de Toilette, and for that reason, I don't know if I'd lean this way when I adore that scent, but it is nice, and it's the most unisex out of all of them, I would say, and the most perfumey as well. Then I think I would put, ooh, this one's hard. Maybe, yeah, I think I would put Lychee and White Mint, only because the lychee is stunning, and if it stuck around a little longer, which I suspect it's not going to do every time I wear it, I would put it higher up on the list, but it ends up being a lot more white mint leaning, and I feel like for that reason I'd probably reach for it less than if it was more of an even mix or even lychee leaning. Then I would put Blood Orange and Basil in 3rd place. I actually ended up really liking this one. The basil in it as well is quite, I don't know, fresh and green in a good way. And out of the 3 citrus leaning ones, that's the one I liked the most. In 2nd place, surprisingly, is the Myrrh and Kumquat, because I love the myrrh, like ambery kind of side to it, but I really smell iris in this, and like a papery iris at that, which reminds me of Iris Prima, which I love. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to wear that one more, as with all of these, but I would say it's in 2nd place. And in 1st place, this one, nothing even came close to it throughout this entire haul. I love this. It is reminding me of something I already own, but not to the point where I can pick it out. So at least it's better off than some of the others. And it is, it's a really, really beautiful floral. So that is in 1st place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one of these beautiful fragrances you'd like to try, if any, and I'll see you next time. Bye.